Hey. Sorry. Slight delay. Trying to see if I'll be able to get this Kanye shit going when it pops off. So my bad. My bad. Oh. We are gonna get right into this critique though. Got a lot of tracks. Oh boy, we got 39 to do. That's a lot. Alright, let's see. Alright. Yeah. Alright. Oh, fuck. I was gonna get something to drink. Alright, 1 sec. So we'll get started in just a second. Whoever. We got Austin B up first. AK Benson. So give me 1 second. I'm gonna get some water. And I'll be right back. And just, say a prayer to your, just say a prayer. All right. So, oh yeah, I got Twitch going. Thanks for the reminder. I do usually forget. I saw you in there, Dean. Hello, Dean. All right. I know Joel was worried no one was gonna show up because of the VMAs, but people showed up. Because, the VMAs aren't really that good. I mean, right now they're playing Dan Macklemore, so how good could they really be? Oh boy, they're doing a live version of that video he just put out. See, I got it on my phone here just in case I'm ready for the Kanye. In case there's some new shit. But, there's all this other bullshit that happens all the other time. They always get you with some new shit. Or something from someone worth a damn, and the rest of the time it's I can't even think of what else. Alright. They're just not good. I mean, like right now, like look at this. This is some bullshit. You can't even see this. Alright. First up. First one of the evening. Is I didn't pick his name yet. AK Benson. So let's hear it. Ooh, his track's called Bikini Bottom. aren't even in the right key.
Oh boy.
Alright. Tonight is a night of no mercy. I got 39 damn tracks. No time for SpongeBob. Those that was just a strange choice. I mean, we've had dope samples from Nickelodeon songs. The one guy sampled Hey Arthur and it was tight. That really set the bar for cartoon samples. What did I say? Hey Arthur? Hey Arnold. Football head. That beat was crazy. That was like the beat of the night for that week. And this was not. Oh. Sorry, bud, but
I'm imagining the day
I guess I'm not in the mood.
I get up.
Alright, here we got Dada Ibarra.
Because you're far away. Okay, I will not see you. No chance. Will not. And now I'm imagining a day when I get up and I know that I might see you.
I'm falling to pieces, but I need this. Yeah, I need this. You're my fault, my weakness. When did you turn so cold?
What is this? What?
Cut me down to the bone. Now you're dancing all over my soul. I'm falling to pieces.
Let's see. I mean,
But I still stay, 'cause you're the
well, I don't even know. I just don't know. I don't know why I was supposed to be hearing that. People always ask, am I only supposed to submit hip hop tracks? You know, I say, no, I mean, you can submit whatever. And then, that's what I get. It's just not some shit I'm trying to break down at the moment. I need some beats. I need fucking beats. Alright, here we go.
Clear that call. We'll check your 911 report.
Alright, Pete Nice, it's on you. Wait a minute.
Metro says Peter call.
Never mind.
I got suspect in view. Following up on him now. Change
This could be smooth, let's see. Buddha, give me fucking strength. I see you right here. Alright, this is smooth enough. Lace 'em up, lace 'em up, lace 'em up, lace 'em up. Why people sending me bullshit? Trying to hear beats that real good shit. Y'all keep sending me real bullshit. Buddha, give me strength for a minute here. Live stream for a minute here. Praise be to Allah. No, this is smooth enough. I like that pitch low sample. Ooh. Bringing the ride. I like the little triplet hi-hat. Shockley says, way too smooth for those police samples. I agree. Definitely a disconnect there. Matt, you joke, but one time my mom fucking watched one of these. She said, I just wanted to know I just wanted to see what it is that you do. And it was fun. My mom watched the stream and she liked it. How crazy is that? Alright. That was pretty, I mean, I can't think of much you would add to that. It was smooth enough. It had a good vibe to it. I would take out those police samples. It doesn't really fit thematically the vibe of what you had going on to have those samples. That would be my first change. I mean, the drums were nice enough. You had some, it wasn't too simplistic on the drums. You had some nice elements with all the hi-hats and stuff. And the extra percussion coming in. So, pretty solid. Congratulations on being the first beat of the night to not get bombed. We had 2 in a row from the start. That's a record. Alright. Oh, next up we got Saul Raps. Views from the hot box. Ooh. Like drugs? Like weed? Let's hear this. Very elementary to start off. I don't like that last note on the bass line. Where it really puts it into like major chord territory. Y'all killed me in the chat. Does my mom produce? Yeah. She makes Vaporwave in Sony Acid Pro. So I like that you added a bass line. But it's not a great bass line. Then the samples are just sort of boring. Elliot. That was a good one. Yeah, so this was like real straightforward. Nothing crazy, revolutionary or anything. But I mean, it wasn't terrible. Like, I liked that you had the sample, you had the drums, and you added a bass line. A lot of people don't get that far on the bass line. And it wasn't like out of key, but it wasn't a spectacular bass line either. So, the samples were sort of boring though. As was, I mean, the drums sort of were too. And, so they didn't do each other any favors. But, not bad. I don't think it was like a mistake making that track. I think it's good that you made that track, even if just the pieces were a little boring. So, if that makes any sense. Alright, next up we got ERF. I think he had some dope stuff before. Oh, damn, Zach, you finally got the friend stamp of approval from non-hip-hop fans even. That's nice. Is that on your SoundCloud? Alright, this is ERF, direct upload, no SoundCloud. I was gonna say this is like that Weeknd song. Watcher of the Wall. You can watch the VMAs in the MTV app if you log in with like Facebook. But I have it on right now just so I can be ready for the Kanye shit. But you can't. There's nothing good happening at the moment, so it's not really worth watching. Once everything came in, this got better. At the start, it was very boring. I think you could do a lot more interesting things with this sort of atmosphere than you did with these drums. Because these chords could be real nice and get real. When I said Weeknd type beat, before anything came in, those first chords, it was almost like the opening of his "That Can't Feel My Face." I'm not saying that. I didn't say the rest of it sounded like a Weeknd type beat. So the drum pattern was sort of like a hype, like it was borrowing elements from a number of songs that had that sort of hype drum pattern, but it did it with like mellow drums. So this drum sounds like matched the synths, even though they were just sort of quiet and a little boring. But the pattern was a little like, had a little more energy to it. So it was sort of a weird mismatch. And then it never really got too big or too interesting. When stuff started to fill it out, it was better. But then after a while, it got back to being less than interesting. Nothing really came in and stood out. All the parts that came in were very much just pieces, background pieces. So work on something to stand out in front. I think if you slow that down and got real atmospheric with it and threw in some like distorted drums and like some cool ass delays and reverbs, that might be more interesting. Because as it stands right now, I think you titled it OVO. You were trying to make like a Drake type song, and I can hear how you were trying to do that. But if you went maybe a different direction, it might be more interesting. So not terrible, just nothing spectacular. Next up, we got Bromar. What up to the new viewer on Twitch who has introduced Rand's numbers and symbols and names I never know how to say, but shout out to you. All right. This is Bromar. Oh, it's ASAP Rocky type beat called Goodfellas. And no one knows what Kanye's going to do. It'd be funny if he didn't even perform and he just got his award and left. Smooth sample. Drums were decent so far. Let's hear them. I don't like the kick. It's a little lackluster. Oh, this is Bromar. I don't know what his YouTube is, but. Oh, here you go. You should have brought these hats in way earlier. If the organ did some other chords after doing the like thing up it might be cool. Having it just nail that one chord isn't that cool though. It's a little underwhelming. Really? So I'm taking beef with the drum sounds right now. You should bring this right in with the hi-hats. I think those would be good together. And then maybe like a real currency clap would be good. I'm on this play way too long. It was pretty slow to be so empty for so long. I think it really worked the best whenever whenever everything started to come in with the hi-hats particularly. But the drum sounds were definitely lacking. I think the ride and the hi-hat, not necessarily together. Maybe it was better to have them passing off back and forth. Cool sample. I don't know if it really came together that well. But there's potential there for sure. All right. Next up, we got Shrine. Who is in the YouTube chat right now. This is a direct upload of his. Let's hear it. Let's hear it. This is messy in a really weird way. So those drums, I think if you had quantized them, it would have been better. Quantized them and thrown on, why can't I fucking AirPlay mirror? Quantized them and thrown on the swing. I think you'd be better off. It was just a little empty. That like echo. Or that main little sample. Okay, it's not a delay. It's actually different notes. The timing was a little off, and it came back by the end of the sample, but I would chop that up if that is a sample, and make sure all of those hit on the beat. This is a beat where there's so little going on that you need it all to be on the beat. Generally, you can have some stuff on the beat and then take other stuff off the beat once you have enough on the beat to lay that main foundation. But this one doesn't have that, so I would quantize it all, fix that sample thing, add some more switch ups, add some more layers, add a bass line, add some more synths. It was very empty at the moment, and especially with those chords coming in so sparsely, that was just a little boring the way it was. So it might help to be a hair faster, add a few more layers, and then quantize everything, and maybe then go from there. Not terrible or anything, but it could use some work. Next up, we got Sasko. Will Sasso. What is this window I brought up? Alright. Sasko 1. I don't think he's submitted before. Shout out to first time submitters. This is Sasko. And it's a private track. Alright, well. Link didn't work. Great. Alright, so next up we got Alive Mind. That is a silly name that sounds like a Christian rock band that likes to make you think a little bit.
Breathe into me.
Alright, let's see where this goes.
Breathe it into me. Breathe into me. Breathe it into me. Breathe.
Later, Dino. Are you actually leaving? So I was hoping to be surprised on where this was going. Turns out I was not. I had a feeling this would be a bit slow and plodding. And I was right. I appreciate that you were trying to leave the drums open. And like leave space for things. But it didn't really work. Instead it was just sort of empty and boring. Nut bus, I'll be ready. I'll be ready on Wednesday. So the sample could be nice, but it is sort of slow, and that tempo is very slow. I mean, what tempo is that? Like 79? No, not that low. 84? That's very slow for that drum pattern being so empty. So it's no wonder it felt that way. So I would go, I mean, you aren't really relying at the moment on the tempo of the sample, so I would just speed it up. And then fill out the drums some more, work on a bass line. Instead of doing 85, maybe do 95 and see what that does for the energy. And then maybe do some different rhythms on your chops instead of that band. Because that's sort of a played out chop rhythm. So it could just use more energy, some more excitement going on. Okay, next up we got Kyle Meredith. Kyle Meredith. I think you've submitted before. Not that it fucking matters. I'm always trying to guess if people have submitted before. All right. Kyle Meredith. Hey. Kind of a gross start. This drum sounds like Crash Bandicoot drums. Ooh, that's an obnoxious filter sweep at the end there. This kick is just terrible. This kick is seriously like you're hitting the side of a garbage can. And that's really not good. And this main melody is immensely boring. Well, hold on. That was a bit of a retroactive bomb. So it wasn't a gut reaction. But I did have to put some punctuation on it. That's for certain. Parts of the programming were interesting. Parts of the hi-hats had some interesting programming happening. But the kick was god-awful. I think it had some low-end happening there. That might have been a separate sample you layered in as like your main low-end with like a distorted 808 type thing. But the high end of that kick, if that was a separate sample acting as your high end, you should definitely switch that out to something else entirely because that was not working. There was just nothing very... I mean, really, the most interesting thing was the hi-hat when it came in for a minute. That, like, chime, the bells were really boring. I mean, there was really only... Those were, like, half notes you were playing. That's crazy. That's crazy slow for, like, a main melody. That's just insane. Insanely sparse for a main melody. So, that was just very empty outside of the intense filter sweeps, which got... The resonance was way too high at the end of that. It was very harsh. But it was cool to have that sort of rhythmic filter sweep going on. That might be a preset and something. I don't know. But it sort of... That was a nice little touch. But it needs work. Renzo asks, what's the record on bombs? It's probably pretty high. I used to bomb. This is the most bomb happy I've been in a while. It's probably like 10. And we're getting up there tonight. This is J Productions. Let's hear. Yeah, I'm critiquing people's beats. There's a wrong ass note in that piano. Gotta fix that wrong note. Is that from a sample? I mean, I think it is. Couple wrong notes in there. Straight up left wrong notes in your MIDI performance. Or is is that just in the sample? Are those ghost notes? I don't like it either way. I don't care where it came from. I don't like it. These drums are like way over compressed. The programming could be sort of cool with different samples, but the compression's making the kick drum super boomy and weird. Piano's awful loud. Yeah, so this is a sample. But it's grody. It's just taking over. It's way too loud. Alright, that's all I need of that. It was sort of nice when the saxophone came in, even though it was a really goofy sax. With a better sound, it would have worked more. I did like the concept. But there's some weird... I would not use that sample, especially with those drums, because those drums could be cool if they weren't so compressed and with totally different everything else. They could have a nice groove to them, but it didn't really work with that piano, I don't think. So... I don't know. People are saying that was a Nujabe's sample. I don't remember. Nujabe's was dope, but you know, a lot of his shit sounded the same. So I do not remember any track names. And I never will. Okay. Next up is Monkey. Monkey? Monkia. How do you spell it? How do you say it? It's just monkey. Alright. He's in the YouTube chat, so make sure you give him shit. Here's this track. Preto, yeah, people are sending their tracks ahead of time. And I'm playing them and giving them suggestions exactly. Sample's very quiet. Too quiet, in fact. The bass is wrong. Just flat out wrong in every way. I've heard one note that fits the sample. Ooh. I like that you try to switch it up. I would say that this part almost works better, but that bass line I'm not a huge fan of. Let me go back to this part and see. That bass line is really ruining it for me. So the sample's super quiet. And the drums are all super loud. So I would bring those closer together. Even out that mix more. They're definitely... you can't really feel a connection between the drums and the sample at the moment. And so you could start with the mix. Getting there. By pushing them closer together. The second part worked better. I think the bass might be closer to working in terms of the notes and the melody, but it's still a little off. And it is also very quiet. Very, very quiet. So you could turn it all up, 1. Then also turn the sample up a little more, 2. Get a totally new bass line. Cause like the chops, I don't know, maybe the chops also weren't really helping. They were sort of slow. They had some sort of cool chords, but it'd be really hard to work around those chords, so they might not have been doing you any favors as well. So there's some stuff you could keep, the bass line not being one of those things. And then you could turn it back up. Turn it up some. Turn it up a lot, really. And yeah. I hope that helps. Bass lines are tough, though. Bass lines are very tough. And I mean, at least you really went for the bass line. Like, there's a lot of stuff happening in that bass line, so props for that. But they are hard. Alright. That was Monkey. Next up, we got Jack is Broken. Oh, it's from his beat journal. On August the 16th. Let's hear it. The drums are buried a little bit by this overwhelming. I think you rolled off the highs when you should have high passed, or yeah, when you should have rolled off the lows, because the lows are real boomy. At first I liked these extra like weird clicking noises. Was that the sample from the start sped up? No. Whatever it was, I was sort of into it. And then it turned out it wasn't rhythmic, but it was cool that it wasn't rhythmic. But then the drums weren't out in front as much as I would have liked. So I think the big issue with that is that there's all this mud from the sample that's left there, and so instead of doing a low pass, do a high pass and get rid of that mud, and then maybe it'll work better. Or play with some EQ and try and take out some of those mid-range frequencies in the 100 to 200 hertz range. Yeah, I don't know where Hakeem has been. He's always shown up on SoundCloud, but did he graduate from the stream? Nobody graduates. He's too good. Oh, I didn't even play his. That was his SoundCloud. My bad. If you were into that. So the drums just got to hit harder on that, and it could be that the break was a little lackluster. So you might want to layer that as well, but then also take out some of the mud from the sample, and it should help. All right. Next up, we got JTS Wales. See what this is. Oh boy, those drums are very, very loud. It's got a fun little groove, but those drums are just insanely loud. is like the music they play in Hitch when they're having all those good dates. Those drums are super, super loud. But that first cymbal was terrible. That crash cymbal. Play with your time stretch settings. Maybe get rid of some of those artifacts. So those drum sounds were pretty goofy, but they almost sort of worked because it was sort of having a goofy feel to begin with, but the mix definitely put them way out in front and made it really hard to like them. I think you might want to do some more vintage sounding drums with that. You could keep that over the top clap as part of it, but maybe not have it as the main snare element. That might not be doing you any favors. Yeah, so turn the drums down or turn the sample up, and maybe throw some sidechain the sample to the kick. And then that might help, and then you can turn the sample up a lot more and still have the drums come through. And then once you get the mix sitting right, you can move on to a bass line if you're still feeling the vibe of that. That's one of those tracks I would be super into one day and then come back to and think, why did I make this? Where it can be polarizing to where you can be into the vibe and then out of the vibe so easily. So turn the drums down. All right, next up we got Farrakooty. I love that the description on SoundCloud says, "Wow, high quality beats at a low price." I'll be the judge of that. We already got impeach the president tonight. At least it took more than 4 tracks. Thanks, Renzo, for linking them. Hey, Daniel. Submissions are closed right now, but just because I get a lot. I swear to you, it says it on SoundCloud. If you go click this link, it'll... This chord progression is really played out in general. But with these keys, it almost works more. I like the vibra slap. I do like the little stutter, what you did with the impeach the president. So, I definitely need some switch ups though. That is a more solid use of impeach the president than we've had recently, because you sort of chopped it at the beginning like that, so that was nice. And then the keys that came in were sort of working, and they sort of worked when they went on their own. But and then the sample, the horn sample, the chords in the horn sample is really those chords are just super played out to me. So I would shy away from those or try and flip it some other way. But not bad. I like the 808 was sort of cool. Sort of cool way to do bass for this. Yeah, like this part. Well, that was a weird chord, but that sort of part sort of worked the best, sort of. I don't know if there's so much more you could go with that beat. I think you might have taken it to where it's gonna be, and it's not terrible, but there are some things to take away. Like it's solid enough, but there are some things to take away from it. Well, you could switch it up some more, add some changes. It really needs some more variety. It was getting a bit repetitive, so pretty solid overall. You might be able to take it a few notches up with some more variation, some different sections, shit like that. Okay. Next up, we got Murat D. Let's hear what he's got. West Coast free beat. Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, Tupac, Ice Cube. I'm ready for it. This would be like on the menu of NBA 2K7 or something. Oh, those hi-hats, that percussion's better. It's helping. That little percussion hi-hat helps a lot. The bass fill is nice. Sound effects are nice. When it's just the snare, the kick, and the strings, I don't like it. When everything comes in more, I'm more into it. Those pianos, it's got some things that work and then some things that don't work as much. And the strings being on every like upbeat doesn't really do much for me. But parts of it really work. Parts of the like G-Funk whistle work. And then parts of it don't. So I would say instead of having it play for like every second of every bar of the hook, you could just leave it to some key moments where it really works. Instead of, if there was any time we were like, man, I just really don't know what to play here, just leave it out. But it was kind of loud, and then it did sort of strike me as I'm just doing this to do it. So, the parts where the hi-hats weren't there to really fill out the groove were problematic. But once they were there, it definitely helped a lot. So, got some cool pieces in there, but it could be tidied up a little bit. All right, next up we got Static. don't know about this extended guitar. Very messy. Although, I mean, slides, some good vibrato there on the slide. Well, the guitar I wasn't a fan of. To be over the whole thing so freeform like that. And these chords are sort of like Michael Bolton song. Or like some Peebo Bryson like love ballads before it started. And then oh boy. And then the bass line sounded pretty far off. So I think using your slide guitar elements in bits and pieces could be cool. I think it's too much to have over a whole beat, especially when there's not so much else happening. Everything was just a little too sparse for my liking in terms of rhythms. So I don't know. It just wasn't very like hip hop to me. It didn't really have like a strong beat of any kind. It was just more of some instrumentalist stuff. So it didn't really resonate very much. But that thanks for sending in. That was a direct upload, no SoundCloud on that. Next up, let's see, what time is this? 9:02. How long do these VMAs run? Till 10? I'm thinking Kanye at 9:30. That's what I'm hoping for. I won't be able to stream it on the stream. One, because I can't get my AirPlay working. If I could, I probably would. At least in the corner. And two, I'm not trying to get banned. So. But I will play it on my speakers, and you can hear it play off my speakers. That way. Or you can just pause and go watch on your TV. Alright, this is Austin. Oh, no. In the tags, this has Majestic Casual in it, so it doesn't inspire much hope for me. Where are the video games at? Nowhere. Not here. Joel, I would. I can't even get it on this screen because it's in the app. But I can't get my mirroring working. This has some cool things going on, but at the same time, it's very slow. And there's nothing crazy original happening. Alright. It's like a Reebok commercial. That was just a little boring to me. Like, it was well put together, and you had some good interplay with your synths. Nothing was like out of key or anything. But there's a lot of it that was just very slow and very low energy. It was just these chords, just these long chords being held out. So I think you could have done more sooner. I know we were just getting into some stuff, but that was far too long to go without really grabbing my attention and making me really want to get into the groove or anything. What else? Yeah, it didn't do a lot for me. Like, it was it was put together nicely, but it didn't really captivate me in any way. And especially aiming for Majestic Casual, which is a good aspiration because they have so many subscriptions. It's also aiming for a pretty safe area, you know. Okay, next up, we got STG. I don't know my letters today. STJE. Let's hear what he's got for us. Hi-hats were a little trancy. The drum sounds aren't the best. I don't know how the samples being chopped the way they do sound like kind of low quality with how low they're pitched down. There's some nasty low frequencies. Oh, the kick is really not good either. That pattern gets old pretty quick too. Is that the same chord, that high chord where it sounds like an actual chord hit, then pitched down an octave? And you have like two other chords in there. It just doesn't have a good tonality. It's just sort of I keep checking into the VMAs to see if Kanye's coming up. And Justin Bieber's performed for like 8 minutes. And he was just hunched over crying or something. And this is bullshit. I can't believe I have to deal with this for damn Kanye West, but the things that I do. The drums had some cool ideas, like going at that tempo. Could have been cool, but the sounds weren't great. They were all sort of like the kick sounded like rock drum set on a keyboard. The hi-hat sounded straight out of a 909, like if you're making house music. And the clap was the same sort of sound, where it wasn't that great of a clap. It was they were just sort of dancey drum sounds. And the programming did get old, so you could have brought in some more elements for sure. And then as well switched out some of the sounds, and it might have put you in a better place. All right, next up we got Captain. Let's see what you got for us, Captain. I hope you got some heat. Let's find out. Oh, I always forget to click the damn. All right, there we go. Captain, let's see what you got. My dog keeps... Oh. We got some lullaby happening. There's one note in there right before the slide on the bass that was out of key. Oh, here comes Kanye accepting his award, but it ain't a damn performance. What's he doing up here? What's he doing on this stage? Who's he with? Oh, it's Big Sean's award. Who the fuck cares? Not me. It's not the big award. They just won an award for video with a social message. Wow. The bass on that had some really cool parts that I was into. I can run that back a little bit because it was so short. I like all the like bell melodies and stuff. I like the bass a lot, actually. Although I don't know how I feel about that high note. I think the clap could be, you could layer the clap a little bit more. Layer some snare in there a little bit more. But the programming is pretty dope, so that's a good little sketch. Cut off your latest beat demo thing. Yeah, and the intro did go a little long, like you said, but I was digging it. I was digging it. That was Captain. Shout out to Captain. You usually got some heat. Tonight was no exception. Why the fuck are all these still showing up? Oh, there we go. It was just cached. It was just cached. All right. Next up, we got Scratch. It's a weird word. Scratch. See what you got for Scratch. Ooh, look at the art. It's got Bobby Hill on the art. Bobby Hill. Oh, the drums aren't hidden. This could be dope. drums are buried though. I can't hear them. And what I can hear from the drums isn't great, sound-wise. I don't like that hi-hat on every. That could have been really dope, but then the drums let me down in a very extreme way. But the chops were. I was feeling the sample. I was feeling like the chops, but the drums just weren't there. Period. And they could have easily been, but they weren't. So the drums that were there could have been turned up. You could have made some room in the sample with some side chaining, some EQing, just straight up turning the sample down a little bit. But then the drums that I could hear that were too quiet also weren't that great. That might be better off with just a dope drum break that you loop or chop up or something. Compared to the ones that it was tonight, because the sounds weren't spectacular. They were kind of lackluster. That was my biggest beef with this. It just need some beefy drums on that, and that'd be very dope. That's why it hurts so bad. The potential is there, but it's not quite realized. Okay, next up we got Electrac Sound. Alright, we're making good progress. We're actually going to finish all these tonight. It's a miracle. Uh-oh, I think this actually has a song on it. If someone raps, you know what I got to do. Sorry. Well, could just be a vocal sample. We'll see. Or just a hook. Vocals are really not mixed good, but we'll see how the beat goes. Oh. Nope. Not trying to hear a whole song about anything. Sorry to say. That's just the rules. Sorry, Electrac. That's just how it goes. Next up, we got EDs. Is Kanye up next, Renzo? Did they say that? Are you talking about when he was on stage a minute ago? We got two people playing guitar tonight. That's interesting. I would keep the guitar more minimal, because you're not nailing all of those riffs. But when you had that, when you had those little hammer-ons on the chord, if you clean those up a little bit, it could have worked nice. Even if it is a little, yeah, I don't like that guitar riff out in the front like that. I like that if you get that in there, that could work. But having so much of it out there. It sounds a little melancholy. Like a little corny in that regard. just like if someone heard "See You Again" and then thought, man, this song really bummed me out. You know, I miss someone else in this world, and they said, I gotta make a song. They really did Paul Walker a favor. They made him that "See You Again." I gotta make my own. And then that's what this song would be. So it's like there's that goofy melancholia, and parts of the guitar were cool. It's you definitely made it stand out in the beat. But I don't know if it really worked as a standout instrument in the beat, because the riffs you were playing weren't clean enough. I think they were too busy, and they weren't. You could sort of get in and get out a lot quicker with what you were playing on your guitar there. So that's what I say about that. There's a lot of guitar critique in that, but I think that was the main thing. Like, the drums weren't terrible, but they were a little goofy sounding. But at least they were nice and clean, and they were mixed well, so I'll give you that. Alright, that was EDs. Next up, we got Jake Korolev, aka K-Go, or K-Go. Let's see what he's got for us. Whoa. Those are awful fast chops. The sample's cool. This is awful busy. If you slowed this down 10 clicks, I'd be way more into it. The clap is really bad. Matt doesn't like the clap either. Someone in Twitch chat says, slow down please. This is if Sonic made a beat. That was taking some cool source elements, some good samples at the start, and then you just took off like a fucking rocket. And the groove you came up with could be cool, but it was chopped like crazy. It was going so fast. And then the drums were pretty weak. And they weren't really hitting. There was sort of that nice big hit on the start of every bar. That was nice. In the low end, but then nothing else really came in. I would slow that down and go more Just Blaze on it. There was a cool little like drum fill in there that would be awesome if it was slower, and it really gave it time to breathe. But that was just intense. That was hyperactive. So I would say slow that down. Get the drums to really, And that was K-Go. It's going fine, Wonder Blunder. Thanks for asking. Next up, we got Bad News. with their SoundCloud URL is Holy Moly Roly. It's Roly Poly Oly. That was a weird ass show. Y'all remember that show? Roly Poly Oly with like the robot bugs on Disney Channel. That was weird shit. Alright, this is Dr. Bad News. This is a good album art. I wish you could see it. Go look at it. I'm curious to see how I flip something at this tempo. Oh, you just... Whoa, you just laid some shit on it. These snares are really weird. Wow, that was intense. So when it started with the fast drum feel, oh, I forgot to throw up his SoundCloud. It started with the fast drum feel. I forgot to I forgot. I was like, oh, okay, so he's not gonna leave it at that fast feel, because I'll find samples where I'm like, oh, okay, I like this, but it's got that same feel. Where it's like, and sure enough, you just layered it right on there. It was really intense. It was pretty fast. trying to do that feel with that sample is tough. You might want to flip it and go halftime with it. If you layer the drums in right, you can cover up that 2 and 4 snare on the fast thing. And maybe that'll be a better feel because it was a bit extreme. But and the sounds were sort of goofy, like the hi-hat and the clouds and stuff. The clouds? What the claps and stuff. I'm just straight up saying the wrong words today. I don't know why. So I think that might be a case of finding the other groove and sort of making it work. Might work better. But it's tough to make those samples work. I don't know if I've ever done it successfully. So, Simon Cole Music. I mean, I wish I could just have open submissions all the time. And that's how it was for a while. Where people could send in beats at any moment. Anytime I was streaming. And then there would be 150 songs at any given time. And so now we pretty much max out as many tracks as I can do. So you might think, wow, that's fucking dumb. I have to wait until Wednesday. That's stupid as hell. It's Sunday night. Well, we're still doing tracks from last Wednesday, so that's why it's the way it is. It opens at 10 a.m. By 10:15, there's like 20 tracks. By the end of the day, there's probably about 70. And that's as many as I could possibly do with the streaming schedule that I do for these. So it might not be the most convenient way, but it is the most practical way. That's all I have to say about that. I know you're just trying to submit some shit. It doesn't bother me that you were annoyed by that. I'm just letting you know why it's the way it is. Oh boy. This is like a Beyonce song that had to be remade for the DVD release when they couldn't get the rights. Where's Sean Paul? We need Sean Paul on this beat. The right temperature for you from the start. Alright, baby got white when it turns me on. We got the right temperature. Here we go. Oh boy. And the title of this is Pass the Spliff Rhythm. So this is making me laugh a little. Let's see if it switches up any. Sorry. I had to do it. I had to do it. It was a little repetitive. And also, it was like wannabe reggaeton, so I wasn't feeling it. Like dancehall reggaeton fusion, but the general MIDI PlayStation 2 version. So I just wasn't feeling it. All right, next up we got Lightworks. The name of the game is Lightworks. The name of the game is Lightworks. It's straight up, that's the title of it. Rhythm, not rhythm. Rhythm, like dancehall. That's the title. Pass the Spliff Rhythm. Spelled R-I-D-D-I-M. Alright. Ryan Leslie congas at the start. I'm addicted to you. So he says this is a phone recording of a live mix. Oh, so you were just jamming. Okay. Oh, here's the video. All right. I gotta cut this shit out. We got Kanye to watch. I'd feed y'all the audio, but I ain't trying to get copyright strikes. I'll hold up the phone. You can watch me watch it.
When we see his work, we feel this energy. It transforms us.
All right. He's not gonna perform, is he? Maybe he will. Ooh, we got a remix. I'll turn this up.
He advances culture by destroying what came before, so we can start anew.
I'd put this on the big screen, but I can't. My AirPlay to my computer is not working. Actually, you know what?
He doesn't just feel. He follows his truth wherever it leads.
I can give y'all a little bit of this audio. Not a ton, though. I thought he was going to do something new.
If his honesty
That was a mistake.
chaos, it doesn't make him
That was a mistake. I'll watch this later.
a person.
But if he's performing, I'm watching. All right. Sorry. Back to Lightworks. This is over the top dramatic on this VMA thing. This is real weird. Equally strange island vibes, 2 in a row. This is just noodling on your synth. I don't know if I'm the hugest fan of the synth noodling off the phone. It doesn't have any hip hop elements. This is like at the flea market. They got that one guy who's got this whole setup and he's selling like CDs his dad recorded. And then he had to take over the family business of selling these CDs at the flea market. And you know, he does these live performances where he's like jamming and he's probably selling jerk chicken and incense and CDs of this song. So I wouldn't buy it. I don't know. That's it for me. That's all I gotta say. I don't know. I just don't have much to say about it. It was just, you were just jamming on some shit that I don't have much to comment on. Levi, is this you? We got Levi. Levi, this is really you. This is not nearly as bad as I expected. Little Big Planet type music. Then we got Sons of Our Fathers, the American Revolution soundtrack in the background. I don't like that lead synth. That snare drum is goofy as shit. This is very slow. It doesn't have a lot of energy or anything like that. You had some, I like the Phil Collins ding 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 in the drums. Yeah, Elliot says, say what y'all want. This is the top 5 of the beats we've heard tonight. I might have to agree. It didn't make me want to die. It wasn't the best beat I ever heard, but that main, it wasn't that great. If you sped it up a little bit and added more of the drums and took out those first 2 synth notes and just sort of left it on those keyboards, that might be dope. Actually, Kanye's got some words for you. No, he doesn't. I'll just watch this. He's not going to perform. I'm crazy. He's just giving a speech. Kanye still cares about MTV Awards and receiving them. He's always been super into MTV. I just want him to do a fucking song. Is that so much to ask? Is that so much to ask of me? Yeah, Levi, that main synth was my biggest beef. Outside of the drum sounds weren't great or anything. But for Levi, from what I expected for a Levi beat, you blew it out of the water. So props to Levi for not getting a bomb. Wow. All right, next up we got Fezzo. How many O's you got? Get the O like Cheerio. 5 O's in your URL. Alright. Fezzo and his track, I Love Hip Hop. Let's hear it.
People ask me all the time, what are you going to do when hip hop goes out? Hip hop is an attitude. It's right here. It's how you feel. It's a style. So it can go out.
We got some more super
Hip-hop is
empty
everything
chords,
down low.
super slow chords and key shit. Oh, here we go. Here comes some more stuff.
What I love most, she had so much soul.
Yeah, this is very like slow, and I think unless you can like really get some super smooth electric piano shit on your chords, having them be like the forefront of your beat is a bad idea. Because when you just play like a chord every 2 bars, it's like, it's just super boring unless you have like the dopest chords known to man, and these really weren't. Some things were starting to come in. Whoa. It's just, that was very slow. What tempo was that? 82 or something? 84, 83. A lot of people in the chat are hating that you added the crackle, that you added the dust, you added the grit. And I also agree that that's not a good look to just add that shit in there. There's no reason to. If you don't like, I think pretty much in all cases adding the crackle, unless you're adding like something rhythmic with the crackle, is a bad idea. That's just very slow. I didn't have much energy, so I wasn't a huge fan. Alright, next up we got Roberto Bustos. Bustos and his track Remember Me. Oh boy, turn down your bit crusher. That's too much. There's about to be some Clams Casino imitation type shit.
I don't know, man. Stuff just comes out and it's entertaining and it's fun and it sounds different than all the other garbage.
Is that
people are
Charlie
spewing,
Sheen?
You know?
I'm trying real hard to be Clams Casino. If I hear any more Charlie Sheen, that's a bomb. Okay, this part's a lot more interesting. Just get rid of your vocal samples at the start. Those are some corny ass samples. And now you might be overdoing it with the mute.
Are you willing to take a drug test?
Sure, you got.
What did I say? If I heard any more Charlie Sheen, then that's it. Well, that's it. Kanye's still talking. God damn, I'm gonna have to watch this tomorrow. It got sort of better, and then you brought back the vocal sample. The drums were nice and like the drums were clean enough, and the way they played with the sample was nice. It wasn't the most original thing ever, but you at least executed on a semi-decent level what you were trying to do with sort of the Clams, not rip-off, but, you know, Clam style stuff. Well, I mean, rip-off maybe. The lo-fi in the beginning was way overdone, I'll tell you that much. and get rid of Charlie Sheen. It's 2015, and I just heard a beat sampling Charlie Sheen's Winning interview. At least, I mean, if I'd let it play and it had got to Charlie Sheen say Winning, if you had put Winning in the beat, I would have broke everything in this room. So thank God that I stopped that. Okay. Next up, we got Wind Waker. Wind with an E. Oh boy. This is called Poke Center. Let's hear it. We had a lot of Pokemon tracks last week. Let's see how this one goes. Oh boy. Oh boy. I don't have time for Pokemon Trap. Next up, we got Carabas. These intro drums do not inspire confidence. I sorta like the super low pitched drums. I've done that before on a track behind other drums is the main thing. I like what you tried to do with the bongos, but they're so much different. So much more different than the drum break you sampled, which is the way you pitched it down so much and whatever sample or artifacts you had, the lo-fi stuff, and then you have these like super clean little ding 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 Legend of Zelda bongos going on. So that's also it's very very slow. But it could work if you have something be that slow. So having the sample flip and the chops be so slow and plodding, and then also have your drums being sampled at half speed, and not really having much going on to make up for the slowed down nature, not having much to put that energy in there. So it was a bit too slow. It had some cool sounds like in the sample, but nothing really elevated the sample. It was just some things happening, especially the mismatch between the bongo and the chopped up drum break. I wasn't a big fan of how that worked. That wasn't even Wind Waker. That was this guy. Sorry. That was Carabas. Did Kanye really announce that he's running for president? Is that true? Because I would believe it. If it happened. Speak of the devil, this track's called Hello Yeezy.
Alright, we're in a fight. Boys are doing all that you can do. Everybody can see that. Win or lose, you're gonna walk walk out of this stadium tonight with our heads held high. Do your best. That's all anybody can ask for. No, it ain't.
Kanye's running for president. President West. President West. Oh my God. Oh, where's the clip? I need the clip. Who's got the clip? Where the vines at? I need to see that shit.
With all due respect, you demanded more of us. You demanded perfection. Now,
I can't even focus on what I'm hearing. I gotta see the clip. I'm seeing it from a lot of places on Twitter. I think he might have said it. I wasn't even listening to this. I'm sorry. I'm glad you like the tutorials, Clinton. I like the feel of the drums, but the hi-hat's a little... That second attack on the hi-hat, I'm not a huge fan of. Yeah, this is real solid. Some of the drum sounds, I'm nitpicking some of the drum sounds, but
with all due respect,
you
demanded more of us. You demanded perfection. Now,
some switch ups. This is solid. I knew I should have watched the fucking speech. Knew we should have had the speech on the stream. Knew we should have. Fuck. Could have been a legendary moment. That was pretty solid though. I was a fan of that. A lot of the drums were dope. You had some cool switch ups. You made the samples work. You brought in that like distorted 808, the lo-fi 808 thing, and made it work. And with that, even without everything else being lo-fi, it still worked. So that was cool. I was definitely a fan of that. Very clean overall. Nice job. Nice job. Sorry we got distracted. Because of Kanye's speech, I wasn't even watching. Next up, we got Sunny Toga. These sounds are very basic. These vocal samples are killing me. Oh, hold on. I don't even got time for. Here's the clip.
And yes, as you probably could have guessed by this moment, I have decided in 2020 to run for president.
Oh shit. Oh my god. That's a soundbite for the ages.
And yes, as you probably could have guessed by this moment, I have decided in 2020 to run for president.
Damn. 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 Damn.
And yes, as you probably could have guessed by the moment, I have decided 2020 to run for president.
Fuck. How can I keep streaming after something like that?
To run for president. To run for president.
Hey.
To run
Hey.
I have decided. I have decided to run for president.
Alright. I'm not even gonna critique anyone else's beats. I'm just gonna play him and do the fucking I have decided to run for president remix.
I have decided. I have decided to run for president. You probably could have guessed by this moment. To run for president. To run for president. To run for president. I have decided to run for president. You probably could have guessed by this moment.
Alright. Y'all don't want critique. Y'all want the Kanye remix. That's what y'all get. Floating. We out here.
I have decided to run for president. To run for. You probably could have guessed by this moment. To run for. I have decided. I have decided. And yes, I have decided to run for president. I have decided. I have decided.
Yeah.
I have decided.
This is all I'm doing for like 10 minutes.
To run for president.
So I hope you enjoy it.
To run for president. To run for president. To run for president. I have decided.
What?
To run for president.
Oh.
I have decided.
Okay.
To run for president. And yes.
What?
And yes.
What?
I have to. And yes. Decided.
All right. Thanks for that. Next one. Rebirth. Reborn. Jesus. Let's go.
So death created time to grow the things that it would kill.
Okay. Things we didn't kill, that's crazy. We born.
But into the same life.
Into the same life.
That you've always been born into.
Okay.
To run for president. I have decided to run for president. And
whole nation hype. All right, next. Who's next? Lord, I hope Jesus can save you. Let's find out. You're about to be the only person to get a fucking bomb instead of Kanye sound bites. Let's hear it. Oh my God.
And yes. And yes. And yes. And yes.
What is happening?
And yes. You probably to run for president. To run for president.
He's getting.
To run for president.
Oh my God. Two more. We're keeping going. Let's go.
And yes. And yes. To run for president. And yes. And yes. And yes. You probably could have guessed by. You probably could have guessed by this. You probably could have guessed by this. You probably could have guessed by this moment. I have decided. You probably could have guessed by. You probably could have guessed by. You probably could have guessed by to run for president.
All right, one more, baby. Then that's it. Oh my God, presidential race 2020.
And yes, 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 to run for president. Decided to run president. I have decided to run for president. To run for president. To run.